Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Today is Wednesday, September 21st, 2016. Tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel so I can keep giving you more quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Also, on this channel, I do not engage in emotional or controversial topics, nor do we deal with drama or unnecessary bickering here. We want to keep this channel positive and respectful. Our channel is based for individuals who want education. So please, be respectful in nature. Also, if you have a business or a topic that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. Please feel free to comment. Make sure your comments are pithy, no bloviating, if you wish to opine. Now on to this evening's topic. We're talking about the pros and cons of check cashing stores. Before we actually get into the meat of this commentary, just want to tell you a few things on checks that have to be verified before they're cashed. Now, here's a few items that check cashing stores go through to verify the legality of the check. They look at the history of the customer. They also look at the business, who made the check. And they want to see if the customer has a positive history. Number two, they want to verify employment of the customer who was cashing the check to see if it's a legitimate company. They use data services to utilize bank account status, or they pull together transactions from multiple merchants to provide risk warnings. They scrutinize the check to see if it's been tampered, or is it fake? Many fakes have flaws that make them look different from proper checks. Also, there is All Trust Networks. Now, All Trust Networks is a check cashing analytics company that helps retailers share information on bad checks and bad customers with each other to avoid bad future fraud. So they want to safeguard. It's like one of those, suppose you have a check with a bank, they go through a checking system to verify that you don't have any outstanding balance checks. And this is why individuals can't utilize a bank to get a check. Now, there are some banks that you can actually go and get a checking account without it being checked. One of them that I know is Wood Forest Bank and Walmart. But here's how people feel about check cashing places. Like me and other individuals, we have mixed emotions on check cashing centers. However, there is good discussion on whether these financial centers should be used or they shouldn't be used. Approximately 28% of Americans don't use traditional banking to handle personal finances. The majority of the people do use these check cashing centers to handle their financial needs. Now, however, there is debate concerning whether these financial service centers provide a useful alternative to banking, or do they just exploit the customer? Now, here are pros of check cashing stores. Now, for some, the use of check cashing centers is almost necessary because they're unable to open a checking account at a bank. Number two, the flexibility of hours. A number of banks close at 2, 3, or 4. So, what does that mean? You can get up late and still make it to a check cashing place. Also, what's not in the article, you don't have too many long lines. And I'm basing it off the ones that I have gone to. And you get good service. And the services that are utilized help you out. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Let's say on Saturday you want to go get a payday loan. And these are the services that are offered. Well, you can get payday loans at check cashing centers. This is part of the Check Cashing Center pros. Money transfers, bill payments, money orders, PO boxes, stamps, envelopes, and even mailing services. If you need notary services, check cashing places provide notary services. Currency exchanges, prepaid debit and credit cards, public transportation passes and tokens, EBT services, photocopying and faxing services, ATM machines, and motor vehicle renewal and registration. Some customers with checking accounts use these services of check cashing centers in addition to banks because they can get funds immediately. Usually, when a check is cashed or deposited into a checking account, you have to wait for the check to clear. And it could be a waiting of maybe 3 to 5 business days. With check cashing centers, consumers are immediately paid in full minus a service fee. However, with the Check 21 law that was enacted October 28th, 2004, banks are enabled to handle more checks electronically, making check processing faster and efficient. Now, check cashing center cons. So, as we have to do, we keep it fair and balanced. We did the pros, let you in on the cons. Although some consider check cashing centers as providing a convenience to its consumers or customers, it may come at a hefty price. Critics of check cashing centers claim they exploit the consumers they serve while providing a facade of convenience. The most common argument against the use of check cashing centers is the fees associated with them. Checks cashed at these centers incur an average of 3 to 5% of the check amount in fees, regardless of the nature of the check. On average, the annual cost of using a financial service center for check cash is greater than the fees associated with using a checking account for similar needs. Now, it also depends on where you go to cash your check. I know Walmart, they charge $3, which I'm going off the basis in hundreds. There's where you get that 3%. Some charge 2.5%. I know CFSC in Lake Station, Indiana, they charge 2.5%. Now, with the online nature of most banks and popularity of electronic payment, the convenience of check cashing centers gets lost when considering the ease of depositing paychecks electronically and paying bills online, even for those individuals who are unable to open a checking account. There are alternatives such as second chance bank accounts, which provide users with the convenience of checking accounts without having to pass through the check system's verification. Aside from the convenience check cashing centers may present, there is an inherent danger of associating with them. Since the majority of people use check cashing centers for cashing payroll and other types of checks, they are usually left having to leave the facility with a significant amount of cash in hand. This can be potentially dangerous when considering the proximity around most check cashing locations. Most check cashing centers are located in more urban neighborhoods where crime is prominent. And that's also the same with some advanced cashing places. I know that's not part of the topic, but that is true about check cashing places. So, what you have to do is basically go in the afternoon where there's a lot of activity taking place. Now, it's not going to stop somebody from trying to get what they can from you, but I'd rather go in the afternoon than in the evening or early in the morning. So what does all this mean? Well, it's for a person to decide. To me, I don't have an opinion one way or another. So deciding on whether to use a check cashing center comes down to personal choice. There are good reasons for and good reasons against using a check cashing center. Accessibility, convenience, cost, and potential danger and preference all come into play when deciding which service works best for you. Also, in a pinch, use a check cashing center. Make sure that you put your cash in your pocket and survey the area before you even go into a check cashing place, because there are good areas. Here's the key. Make sure you go into a check cashing place that's in a strip mall, a place that has a lot of traffic. I know in Portage, Indiana, there are a few of them here. If I have to go into one, I go into where the location is in the midst of traffic. Therefore, in my opinion, it's very safe. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. Until next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember to be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening. Good night.